fundamentally speaking, there's little difference between snow and rain, yet people think they should place only upon the former. Fate can be truly arbitrary.
I'll protect us.
Quit following me. Quit following me. You're dead.
Dance.
Following me. You think I'm...
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Apart from your own skill, another person to count on is always good after all.
Yep, and it's even...
Ah, yes. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is.
Wait! Do you mean... does that stranger's face look any...
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This stranger is...
Seriously?
That stranger declined the guild's... Nonetheless, you can... After all, and should this stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey. Please don't talk down on yourself like that. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the... Well, as to he stands guard. I wish you every... Ad Astra... Thank you for Ad Astra...
We can definitely write this off as incidental gains. We can definitely write this off as incidental gains.
Children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you. Oh, no, no. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, Chuck, when you traversed my old teapot that simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a... Fortunately, I will not go... The teapot that you entered previously.
So, in the...
Oh, indeed, the teaper. But that's enough.
That's right!
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no... What's more, I doubt that you would know how... Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil. You would have to dig downward, but almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this. Even more difficult to find is Smaragdus jadeite. In any case, Smaragdus jade... Ah, goodness knows if that child...
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny,
Yes, I suppose...
she counts?
Oh, maybe...
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Ah, allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen-Fei. Yen-Fei, I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yen-Fei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yen-Fei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yen-Fei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affair.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed...
Well, my dad did say that he'd talk... Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
Is that so? But Smaragdus jadeite is really rather essential. Yen-Fei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have...
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still... Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya? Ah, found him. Krusel! A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. He mentioned that he was... So, I guess I'll go look for him. Oh, you want to join me?
Wow, best we be...
Hello, Mr. Krusel.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yen-Fei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hair... Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins?
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Ms. Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Zhiqiao in the event...
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Quit following me.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from my associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins. I can't lend them to you right now. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the Orbis. We now have a backlog of paid. A big banquet is coming up. That's what the hairpins were for, too. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja?
Would you really? I sent a commission to...
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpin.
Huh? Well...
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she true.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are... Furthermore, the contract also expressed, and given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Zhiqiao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are long, whichever way you look at it.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be...
Please. Please, however much it is, I will have... Now that it's come to this,
Yes, legally speaking. So hold on a moment, Miss Zhiqiao. When you first touched the hair...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gem my family has seen...
Smooth to... No, it's nothing. I just...
Quit following me.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Miss Yunfei, what is it?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be...
What do you mean?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found if mere mortals come into contact with it. Well, they'll be sick and... Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel
No, not at all.
Now that is strange. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have...
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now.
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit, and then he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow... Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying...
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this.
Well then, since you're so experienced...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon feels like Yanfei is even...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad...
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad...
This contract has so many pages!
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through?
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before,
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask...
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. I know whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law... But again, let's not dwell on this. Ha! I've got it! Let's pay if Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on...
Why, hello there, honored surely not more...
No, nothing of the sort. Has this...
Snezhnayan merchant... That was the first time I'd ever encountered it. So he was quite generous with his money, too. So I did... Why, yes.
Thank you, sir. We'll
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross... Yes, It's not particularly rare. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different.
There's nothing special to it. It just so these two stones actually look very similar. There may be only a subtle difference for the and I'm sure this.
All right, let's focus up.
But never mind, Shirto.
Unusual actions have unusual...
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Cross...
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and...
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. This document shall serve as sign...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a...
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crucible...
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! See,
Well, that was quick.
because lots of people come to me. As you know, Liyue Harbor is but the amendments made by... As such,
So you helped...
Yes, well, you sound surprised. Knowing... Oh, this has enough...
Again with that...
Well, that's that then.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Krosel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Krosel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again!
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make...
The weirdo with the snake around his neck?
Because only he can provide enough... Once we have this final piece...
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well? Now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No, no. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from it is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus.
That is indeed the case.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document, won't take me a moment. But after I gave him my reply, his expression... I wonder, Miss Yenfei...
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baizhu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation?
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded.
Wonderful. Well then, please.
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid.
Material evidence? What material? I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus Jadeite.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with...
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't have... In any case, Smaragdus Nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite. So I had him cut away the Nephrite.
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't...
hard evidence. Something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that...
Our second piece of
You know, you could...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall... Traveler, would you do the honors?
What's this?
Smaragdus Jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and sustained contact with Smaragdus Jadeite over a prolonged... Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope. However, I'm sure that the Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence I trust that you'll give them your...
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew...
Huh? No,
aren't actually inlaid with genuine smaragd... You do understand, Mr. Crossell?
I...
Can't be seriously intimidated.
I admit it. But I'm a victim in all of this too. But after receiving it, and I went to Boo Boo Pharma's. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from I kept the real Smaragdus Jadeite in a specially made box. I was worried that someone would see through it.
Exactly.
I didn't want to either. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that—
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite!
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear—
Ms.
However, Mr. Crossel, since you have no use—
What? But I—
Miss Yanfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over—
Well, that's not quite how the rules say—
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yanfei.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossel, it seems that my client has no further claim—
Is that—
Actually, Mr. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're— If we could join forces, your jewelry—
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually,
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. An Adeptus. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by human. The title of Adeptus in any case. Don't you think that the Liyue Harbor—
Paimon can think of someone.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit.
You've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot,
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis. Indeed, Yanfei, my— Liyue, all right then. Let us—
Ooh, Paimon's so excited!
There we go. Hold it firmly. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll—
Wait a minute, Granny!
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged—